Good morning. Good morning, dreamers. Most of us dream big, but a lot of us don't even attempt to live those dreams. Why? Because we are afraid to fail. We're afraid that we will not succeed at what it is that we want to do. So what do? We do not attempt at all. And that, you take the biggest L for that one. You are the biggest failure on this planet. If you are going to dream of doing something, always wanting to do something, and you never do it, you're going to grow old and regret it for the rest of your life because you were afraid to fail. Shame on you. Shame on you for being given a gift and not living out that gift. That is a shame. That is a shame. You have been blessed with something so beautiful, a purpose to give to the world, and you didn't even attempt to try to do it because you were afraid to fail. Not me. I am going to dream loud and clear. Let's talk about this word failure and failing. To be successful, you're going to have to face that. We are going to fail. The word that people call failure, we are going to fail many and many times over. But being successful, you learn that failure is not a bad thing. It's a step. It is a step in the right direction. Because if you failed, that means you were attempting to do something great, something positive. You attempted to do something that most others will not do. So you can't really see it as failing. Failing is not in our vocabulary. Because when you fail, it is a lesson. It's a lesson at how not to do things the next time. I'm going to take acting as an example, because that is the one you'll take the biggest L. Is acting, because you are putting yourself out there, and it has to be one of the toughest industries to get into. I go to auditions quite frequently, and when I first started, I used to go to auditions and get my feelings involved. I used to get my feelings involved at auditions, and I used to go in there thinking, yeah, I got this. The next day, I didn't get a call. I'm like, what's going on? Why did they hit me up? And the day after, my stomach's hurting because I didn't get called back. By the third day, I am just a mess because they didn't hit me back for this audition. And I would be hurt about it for weeks. Up until the next audition. I would be right back on the saddle. Because it was just a lesson. And I started learning that don't take it to heart. It's part of business. It's not that I wasn't good enough. I just wasn't the fit that they were looking for their event. I wasn't what they needed. They weren't what I needed. It wasn't right for me. It's any business that you're in. It is a business move. When you have these meetings and you walk into these rooms, you have to see it as a business move. So you sit down and you blah, blah, blah for an hour, 2 hours with the person. Then they're all excited. And it's the same thing with me as a director, or when I have to film something for someone. We'll sit down and blah, blah, blah for 2 hours, and that's all it is blah, 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 blah. For an hour or 30 minutes or whatever it is. Then you leave, you're both happy, you're excited. You're like, man, I got them. I got them. They loved what I was saying. You know, they're happy. They tell you how you're the right person. Then a week goes by, you don't hear a word from them. I've learned to throw it away. The minute I walk out of that meeting, I throw it away. I bury it. I'm so good at doing it now, I'll forget that I even had a meeting with you. No disrespect to people that I had meetings with, But you kind of have to treat it that way. You kind of you put it down in your notes, met with so and so today, and that's it. You kind of leave it alone, because if you think about it, it's gonna bother you. Then you're gonna be like, man, I failed. I didn't do it right. So therefore, you cannot move on. So you kind of have to do it and just keep moving from it. And because then if you don't do that, you'll just keep seeing yourself as a failure. I failed, this didn't work out. People aren't coming to my restaurants because I'm just a failure. I didn't. You gotta keep moving, because you have a purpose in life. So you cannot think about what happened yesterday. You got to think about what you're gonna do tomorrow. That's what you have to think about. You gotta keep it moving, because you have a purpose you need to share with the world. You might be the best cook on the planet, but you're afraid to open the doors to that restaurant or that catering service. Or you might be a brilliant actor, but you're afraid to go to auditions because you're